Hello friends, welcome to ProTalent IAS Academy, and in this editorial discussion we are going to talk about two important issues. We feel that these two important issues are very important for any public servant aspirant. So if you are public servant aspirant, you should know how this artificial intelligence is changing the world around you. And number two, how this entrepreneurship in India is shaping up and where are we losing out. So let me start to talk about artificial intelligence to be the first issue for the day. So this is taken from The Economist magazine, where the discussion happened about a huge competition in AI, artificial intelligence के बारे में competition. So let us talk about the entire scenario. The questions are, how and where is AI taking over the world? That's a kind of question could be provided. Or list out some concerns in the field like competition and open source the AI is bound to bring. How AI will bring this open source or competition related scenario. Let us start first to understand what is this artificial intelligence all about. So artificial intelligence, the father of artificial intelligence, John McCarthy, says that it is a science and engineering of making intelligent machine, especially intelligent computer program. So that is what the meaning, making intelligent machines and intelligent computer program. So what does this mean? It means a very simple, it's a way of making a computer or computer controlled robot or a software which think intelligently, the manner humans think. Okay, AI is accomplished by studying how human brain thinks, how human learn, decide, work while trying to solve the problem, and then using outcomes of this study as a basis of developing intelligent software system. Now how humans work? Now for that we need to understand how knowledge is established. Knowledge is very, it's hardly organized. So it is so much scattered. In this scattered scenario, our brain can assimilate many things. Sometimes it assimilates the kind of handwriting, the facial expression, the face recognition itself, the tone, the sound of the word. Lot of thing is affected by our human brain, and our human brain can, you can say, detect that kind of scenario. Artificial intelligence will try to focus on the ditto the same idea. So what is the philosophy of AI? It says, can a machine think and behave like humans do? So what are the goals of AI? So AI का basic philosophy है भैया machine को human जैसा बनाना. Primarily two goals: to create expert systems and to implement human intelligence in the machine. So what is the meaning of creating expert systems? The system which exhibits intelligent behavior, learn, demonstrate, explain and advise its user. That is what the machine should do. While creating a system that understand, think, learn and behave like humans is also another goal. So that is the goal of AI, creating expert system and implementing human intelligence in the machine. So what kind of things which contribute to AI? Is it only mathematics and computer science which is affecting AI? Possibly not. It's a mix of everything, like computer science, like psychology, like neuron science. So we should understand how neurons are affecting our decision making, our understanding. So that is very critical. Biology, math, sociology, philosophy. So artificial intelligence is a gamut of all subjects, and all this contribute to AI, artificial intelligence. So let us understand how AI programming differs from programming without AI. Let us understand this. So this one side talks about programming without AI, and this says programming with AI. Okay, let us understand that. So what is the kind of programming without any AI? Computer program without AI can answer specific questions it is meant to solve. So that programming will be in a position to provide solution only for the purpose it is meant. जिस काम के लिए बनाया गया है उतना ही वो काम करेगा. While a computer program with AI can answer generic questions it is meant to solve. So that means here it is just solving specific questions. Here it can solve generic questions. So it is not solving only a specific question. For example, अगर हम कोई लाइब्रेरी के सिस्टम बनाते हैं तो लाइब्रेरी सिस्टम का अगर प्रोग्रामिंग किया हुआ है so it can give a specific question that a particular code वाली book कहाँ पर है. Okay, that it can give. While generic questions related, which means it can also tell few more information about कि इस तरीके की मतलब एक पर्टिकुलर जॉनर की किताबें कितनी लाइब्रेरी में अवेलेबल है, इसके अलावा अभी कोई लेटेस्ट इस जॉनर की किताबें मार्केट में आई है कि नहीं. मॉडिफिकेशन इन द प्रोग्राम लीड्स टू चेंज इन द स्ट्रक्चर. सो इफ वी हैव अ प्रोग्रामिंग विदाउट एआई, थोड़ा सा मॉडिफिकेशन इज चेंजिंग द बिग स्ट्रक्चर. व्हाइल हियर AI programs can absorb new modification by putting highly independent pieces of information together. Therefore, if you want to modify small piece, it doesn't modify the entire structure. Modification here is not quick and easy. It may lead to affecting the program adversely. While programming with AI, modification is very quick and easy. That is really possible. So where is this application of AI is happening? AI is happening in many areas like gaming. Gaming is happening in a big way. In fact, it all started with it. AI plays a very crucial role in strategic games like chess, poker, tic-tac-toe, and we can say many such kind of things. Natural language processing. It is possible to interact with the computer that understands natural language spoken by the humans, not the language which is as per the books. Expert systems. There are some applications which integrate machine, software and special information to part reasoning and advice. So therefore, they will be in a position to give explanation to the users. Apart from that, it is useful in vision statement. So these systems will understand, interpret, comprehend visual input on the computer. For example, a spying aeroplane taking a photograph which are used to figure out the special information or maps of areas. So एक एरोप्लेन में एक स्पाइंग कैमरा लगा के रखा है, वो एक फोटोग्राफ कैप्चर करेगा, उस फोटोग्राफ के ऊपर से ऑटोमेटिकली मशीन एनालाइज करेगा दैट वेयर इज व्हाट. ओके, और डॉक्टर्स यूज क्लिनिकल एक्सपर्ट सिस्टम टू डायग्नोज द पेशेंट. स्पीच रिकॉग्निशन, मतलब दिस हैज बीन डेवलप्ड इन अ गुड वे. Some intelligent systems are capable of hearing and comprehending language in terms of sentences and their meanings. So for example, if you simply have your Apple phone and you ask Siri to follow certain of your commands, currently Siri is limited in nature. Okay, but if Siri can understand your slang language or there is a noise which is happening in the human, you can say talk, or there's a background noise, and if Siri can remove such kind of thing, that is what the real meaning of AI. It is also useful for the handwriting recognition. Now it is also useful for the face recognition and making intelligent robot. Okay, so robot can try to make everything like humans. That is what basically application of AI which is basically needed. So AI, how it has evolved over a period of time. It all started in 1950. There was a kind of Turing test where computer scientist Alan Turing proposes the test for the machine intelligence, and over a period of time it moved and grown further. For example, there is a Siri developed in 2011, and now in 2017 we have AlphaGo. We are going to talk about this AlphaGo scenario. So far we have understood how this AI and what is this AI. Now we are moving towards how this AI is changing the corporate world, how it is changing the company structures, and more importantly, how it is commercially making benefit. So let me talk about how global activity is happening in AI. Number of merger and acquisition deal, which are a very important, you can say, information about how this AI is working. So if you look at 2017, these numbers are increased. So that means most of the companies in the world are thinking that this is a place where the future lies. Okay, so let's talk about this global wave first. So these two letters, that is AI, is adding up a lot of money because there they think this is the hottest property in the world. Venture capital investment in 2017 has crossed a huge amount. In the first 9 months, it is 7.6 billion. That's a huge money. In the year to date, there have been 21.3 billion AI related M&A deal, around 26 times more than in 2015. In earning calls, public companies now mention AI far more often than big data. So big data एक competing idea था जहां पे big data एनालिटिक्स के ऊपर से कुछ न कुछ कंपनियों के लिए काम की इंफॉर्मेशन निकलती थी, पर आज बात हो रही है AI. So for tech company, is it mandatory? Possibly yes. The AI is the heart of the frenzy for some of the familiar name like Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft. That's the heart of everything. Similar battle is underway in China among the firms like Alibaba and Baidu. Several have put AI at the center of the strategies, and all enthusiastic acquirers of AI firm, often in order to snap up people they employ, that's what they are doing, and they see AI as a way to improve their existing services from cloud computing to logistics. So this is what they are looking at. Many observers fear that by cementing and extending the power of handful of giants, AI will hurt competition. So हमने अभी देखा that how is AI moving. But now currently AI is available with handful of people because they are putting a lot of effort and money for that, and therefore it will change the future of competition. That will depend on three important questions. So let us try and understand which are these three important questions which are impacting this competition scenario with respect to AI. But before that, let's take an example of a company called AlphaGon, and this AlphaGon is changing the paradigm with respect to technology. Let's talk about this. AlphaGon is a tech giant, have a big advantage in this battle of AI. They have tons of data, oodles of computing power, and they have boffins. Boffins का मतलब होता है the people who are spending a lot of time in R&D. ठीक है? So they have data, they have computing power, they have people. These three things are really needed. Okay? ठीक है? So which expects to charge ahead. Imagine a future in which you are transported everywhere in a Waymo autonomous car, which is owned by Alphabet. है ना? So this is Waymo. आप उसमें जा रहे हैं. You pay for everything through your Android phone and watch on YouTube to get relaxed and search the web using this Chrome. Okay, so this is how everything is controlled by Google that way. That's a company called Alphabet. Markets with just a handful of firms can be fiercely competitive. So this AI will force other companies to leave this market because it is costly affair to get in, and only few handful of companies who have invested over a period of time, only those will be successful. A world in which the same few names duke it out in several industries could still be a good one for the consumer. It will be good for consumer because they'll have limited choices but the best options available. But if people rely on one firm services like this, and if AI enables that firm to predict their needs, customize its offering ever more precisely, it will be burdensome to switch to rival. That's a big problem for the consumers. So consumers should have benefit to switch from one firm to other. So that future is still obviously long way, but AI programs currently are narrowly focused, but if they are able to move further, then they will be in a position to create such kind of scenario. The ability of the incumbents, that is current technology holders, to perpetuate their advantage is made uncertain by three questions. So whether they will be in a position to sustain over a longer period is dependent on these three questions. So if these companies have the answer to these three questions, they are in a position to change many things. Let's talk about question number one. Is it focusing on more data or less data? Let us understand what is the meaning to this. Most important question in AI is whether AI will always depend on vast amount of data. Machines today are usually trained on huge data sets from which they can recognize useful patterns such as fraudulent financial transactions. If the real world data remain essential to AI, these technology giants will be in a position to control them. But if AI is not heavily dependent on data, then possibly scenario would be different. They have vast amount of data. For example, Google, Apple, Facebook, they have vast amount of data. What do? They work on data only, and they are gaining more and more of data, and thereby they push lot of newer area in their field. A competing vision of AI stresses simulations in which machines teach themselves using synthetic data or in virtual environment. So sometimes this AI is getting trained, even if they don't have data, they develop synthetic data. That's not a real data, and through that AI is getting learned. So early versions of program developed to play Go. So Go एक Asian board game है, which is developed by DeepMind in Google, which is a unit of Alphabet, were trained using data from actual games. The latest was simply given the rules and started playing Go against itself, and within 3 days it had surpassed its predecessor, which had itself beaten the best player humanity could muster. If this approach is widely applicable, if future AI system can be trained using less data, tech giants age is blunted. उनके पास डेटा का पावर है, ठीक है, अगर वो डेटा डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहेगा तो कोई भी एक नई कंपनी इसके ऊपर अच्छा काम कर पाएगी. So future depends on data. Okay, so if the technology shifts which is related to less data, then possibly this big tech giants will have less, you can say, edge over others. Coming to question number 2, what about money? How much of world's stock of it the tech giant will end up controlling is a second question. कितना पैसा ये लोग कंट्रोल कर पाएंगे? They have a cloud in consumer realm. Example is Amazon. They keep pushing into new areas, from Amazon's interest in the medicine to Microsoft purchase of LinkedIn. So Microsoft focuses on corporate world while Amazon is focusing on medical. So they are looking at different realm. But data in the corporate realm are harder to get at, and their value is increasingly, you can say, this is what the idea is. And autonomous car will be a good test. Alphabet's Waymo has done more real world testing of self-driving car than any other firm. But established car makers and startups like Tesla can generate more data for their existing fleets. Other firms like Mobily, which is a driverless tech firm owned by Intel, are also in the race. So the big question is, how much money are they in a position to control? If there is, you can say, no big money which is coming under this, then possibly these big tech giants are not going to control. But if these tech giants are moving in the different realm, like Amazon moving towards medical, Microsoft moving to the LinkedIn, and so on and so forth, if they are in a position to do it, then possibly these tech giants will have a superior power. Moving towards question number 3 is, the sharing is good, but will the tech giants do it? That means how open knowledge will be shared. So the tech giants' ability to recruit AI expertise from universities is helped by willingness to publish research. Google and Facebook have open software libraries to outside their developers, but their incentives to share valuable data and algorithms are weak. So much will depend on whether regulations, price, open their grip. So Europe's impending data protection rules require firms to get explicit consent for how they use data and to make it easier for customers to transfer their information to other providers. China may try to help these firms, their own firm, by having negligible regulation. So if government is bringing regulation for transferring this kind of data, then possibly these big tech giants will not have lot of control and power. So the battle in AI is fiercest among the tech giants, but it is too early to know how good that will be for competition. But not to anticipate the magic ingredient that will determine the importance, that is importance, accessibility and openness of data. This is what the main ingredient for the AI to become powerful in the hands of few tech giants. कुछ टेक जायंट्स इस AI की कंपटीशन में आगे कैसे बढ़ेंगे, it all depends on importance of data, accessibility of data and openness of data. I hope this is very clear to you. So with this, we end this artificial intelligence issue. We move towards the next editorial, that is number 2, related to promoting entrepreneurship in India. This is live mint article, how entrepreneurship is to be promoted in India. What are the challenges we are facing? Let's talk about the questions for the discussion is, despite high educated workforce in India, we are unable to generate jobs. So India having a jobless growth, that's a big problem happening for India. The solution to India's job problem lies in entrepreneurship, promotion, explain. This is how the questions could be. So let's talk about one data, that manufacturing jobs have remained stagnant over a period of time, while services sector jobs have increased tremendously. And that's the reason people started to go for, we can say, MBA. People started to focus a lot on MBA or any such kind of courses which are putting them into services sector. And there are so many engineering students are getting passed out, but they are not getting very good jobs. Okay, so because there are no jobs in the market. Let's talk about another number of employment in MSME sector in India. So between 2005 to 2006, it has increased in large number, and later on it is increasing, but now possibly it may remain to this stagnant scenario. Also, let's talk about which are the best cities for startups or entrepreneurship. So Bangalore comes at the number 1, Mumbai comes at the number 2, then NCR region comes at number 3, okay, and then few others. Okay, so this is what scenario available with respect to startup, employment scenario and job scenario. I hope this is clear in your mind that job markets are in the services sector, manufacturings are not able to do in a big way, while startups are limited in few cities. Okay, so now with this background, let's get into understanding some more issue related to entrepreneurship. Demographic trend in India, where we are second most population country in the world and we are the youngest population in the world, so that we have millions of people coming out every year in the job market, which is some around 12 million Indians joining the labor force every year, which is more than the entire population of a country called Sweden. With millions of young people joining this labor market every month, the question on their lips is if there will be enough job for them. And few are asking that we should create jobs. Contrary to popular belief, India produces too few entrepreneurs. So India does not have lot of entrepreneurs coming out. The pace of creation of new businesses and new startup in India is quite low compared to the world around us. This low pace of entrepreneurship is associated obviously in connection with the slow pace of job creation. An examination of millions of enterprises in India and the US has shown a very strong link between new startup and subsequent job growth. So more startups, more jobs. Okay, that's how the scenario would be. So let's talk about issue related to this aspect. So a detailed examination of enterprise in 600 districts in India confirms the strong relationship between new startup and job growth. Districts in India that embraced entrepreneurship have experienced faster job growth. It is not only that the pace of entrepreneurship growth is too slow, it is also lopsided. There's a huge heterogeneity in entrepreneurship within India, with new establishment concentrated in few places. So, there is extensive evidence of agglomeration of economies and supportive incumbent industrial structure for input and output markets are strongly linked to higher establishment entry rate. So हो क्या रहा है भैया इंडिया में? ज्यादातर चीजें एक जगह पे इकट्ठा हो रही है. अब ये एक जगह पे ही एक लिमिटेड तरीके के ही स्टार्टअप बन रहा है. ठीक है, अब उसकी वजह से क्या हो रहा है, नए लोग भी एंट्री करना उस मार्केट में डिफिकल्ट है और नई कोई वैरायटी बन के आ नहीं रही है. फॉर अ सिटी, स्टार्टअप्स आर मोर फ्रीक्वेंट in industries that share common labor needs or have customer supply relationship with cities incumbent business. तो जो सिटी में लेबर और जो कस्टमर और सप्लायर रिलेशनशिप के बारे में जो कनेक्शन है, अगर वो स्ट्रांग है, दैट मीन्स जिस तरीके के कस्टमर की जो डिमांड है उसी तरीके के सप्लायर अवेलेबल है. ठीक है, तो वहां पे ये बिजनेसेस काफी अच्छी तरीके से ग्रो होते हैं. हाउएवर, स्ट्रांग एग्लोमरेशन का इकोनॉमीज मतलब एक जगह पे इकट्ठा होने वाली इकोनॉमी and supportive incumbent industrial structure still do not explain why heterogeneity in entrepreneurship within India should be much bigger than what other countries have experienced. So India में क्यों ये बड़ा होना चाहिए उसके बारे में क्लैरिटी अभी मिल नहीं पा रही. So India की economic geography with respect to entrepreneurship देखा जाए, so that's very challenging. The differences in the geographical location of entrepreneurship are not result of differences in entrepreneurial returns. Anticipation of abnormal returns is not the driving force. Demographics have played only a limited role. But two most consistent policy factors that predict overall entrepreneurship in district are its local education level and the quality of physical infrastructure. So it is not about कि वहाँ customer कैसे है और कितना रिटर्न मिल रहा है वहां से. That is not a driving force. Driving force is availability of people, उनका education level and also quality of local physical infrastructure. More importantly, these patterns are true for both manufacturing as well as for the services sector. Good physical infrastructure is essential to supporting entrepreneurship, economic growth and job creation. Goods and services cannot be produced or jobs cannot be created without access to roads, electricity, telecommunication, water, education, health. So this is where the scenario lies. The link between education and entrepreneurship has a very strong root. Education improves skills and thereby spreading ideas more quickly. Programs that promote education in poorer districts can increase supply of potential entrepreneurs, provide broader benefits to the communities and enhance equity. So there are limits to the pace at which India can accumulate physical capital and invest in the physical, you can say, infrastructure. But there is no limit to the speed with which India can close the gap of the knowledge. So we have to focus on two important parts. One is developing human capital and second, developing this physical capital. Remember, physical capital का एक लिमिटेशन होगा, बट दिस आर अनरिस्ट्रेन. इंडिया अगर इधर फोकस कर सकता है तो फ्यूचर इंडिया के लिए काफी बड़ा है एंड बड़ी जॉब मार्केट क्रिएट हो सकती है. सो व्हाट इज द फ्यूचर ऑफ जॉब क्रिएशन? देयर इज नो वन मैजिक फॉर्मूला और वन साइज फॉर ऑल काइंड ऑफ सॉल्यूशन. ठीक है, द मार्केट शुड बी यूज्ड टू डिटरमाइन इट्स कंपैरेटिव एडवांटेज एंड पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैव द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ प्रोवाइडिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. सो क्या करना चाहिए भाई? मार्केट डिटरमाइन करेगा किस तरीके का ह्यूमन कैपिटल बनेगा एंड मोर इंपॉर्टेंटली पॉलिसी मेकर्स विल डिटरमाइन हाउ दिस फिजिकल कैपिटल टू बी developed. Okay, so districts become more competitive when they are livable, have good infrastructure, well governed and invest more in urban knowledge generation and capacity building and work through strengthen public and private partnership at local, national and international level, and they will also attract more entrepreneurship and create more jobs. So that is important. And the job challenge faced by India will be shaped not just by how India invests in physical and human infrastructure, but also by the global trends towards increasing use of digital technology. Heavy manufacturing is likely to start shedding jobs first, and light manufacturing still has a potential to create more jobs. So it is not just human capital development, it is not just physical capital, but also how to use digital technology to create more jobs. The future of jobs will be driven more by education and skills than in the past. Policymakers will need to introduce innovations in the content and delivery of education. So policymakers will have to develop newer methods of developing content as well as delivering the content. The potential of technology enabled solutions supported by a stronger foundation of digital literacy will go a long way in putting the future of job on a stronger footing. So in conclusion, the future of job remains positive given that India is starting from a low base. So India का base low है, तो जो भी आगे होगा वो future अच्छा ही होगा. India's strength in entrepreneurship lies in small enterprises. We do not have big names, but we have small firms. They are now well integrated in a global supply chain. Last but not the least, women-headed entrepreneurship will become a new driver of job growth in future. And the policy message on the entrepreneurship and job growth is very simple. One, local governments wanting to promote pro-entrepreneurship growth should focus less on firm casing or attracting large mature firms from somewhere else rather than focus more on encouraging entrepreneurship in their own community. This link between entrepreneurship and job growth is not automatic. Districts that have higher level of local education and better quality of local infrastructure will attract many more entrepreneurship and create many more jobs. So Indian entrepreneurship has to be connected with physical infrastructure, human infrastructure, that is human capital, and more importantly, digital economy to be connected to this. So I hope this is very easy for you to understand related to entrepreneurship challenge in India. We thank you very much for watching this, and by this we close this particular editorial discussion session. And do not forget to subscribe, comment and share this video to your friends. Thank you very much.